Growing up as a kid, I was scared of a lot of different things. The thought of a giant faceless creature lumbering through the woods at night, gazing on, with its empty sockets, trying desperately to find the next mortal it would prey upon. A boy with bleach white skin, etching a Chelsea grin into his own face, staring at me from the foot of my bed, murmuring softly to me and telling me close my eyes. A corrupted Sega game, maybe a corrupted SpongeBob episode, or maybe just a hyper-realistic PNG of Mario. Looking back, it's rather peculiar that these things scared me so much. Being a fully grown adult, these stories and things that used to keep me awake at night are all just kinda silly now. I tried to understand what it was that scared me so much, or why I was terrified of these things, yet eerily fascinated by them. No matter how many sleepless nights they took away from me, I still couldn't get enough of them. Maybe it was morbid curiosity, maybe I just wanted to find plot holes to ease my young mind by rereading them, or maybe I wanted to research and find these evil monsters' weaknesses so I could protect myself from them. My gullible childlike wonder and naivety fully convinced that these monsters and these creatures were actually real. Whatever it was, I couldn't stop reading creepypastas. Neither could anyone else I knew. Looking back now, there wasn't a single kid at my school that didn't know of the existence of these things. It was either the scrawny 6th graders like me that were petrified of them, or the big, tough 8th graders who would scare the 6th grade scrawny kids like me with their infatuation with them. I'm not exaggerating when I say that young teenage people would try and create pseudo-relationships with these various characters from different stories and draw art of them that wasn't safe for YouTube. No matter which side you were on, obsession or unnerved, creepypasta was everywhere. So much so that when I would sit down and play my favorite game with my friends at the time, I couldn't escape them. Digging deeper down into the Earth's crust, looking for those illustrious, cool, blue, shiny gems, trying to not get absorbed by the earth-shattering heat of the lava dripping from the porous cracks above me. The thought always raced in the back of my mind that if I turned around in this dark, decrepit tunnel, what if he was there behind me? The year is 2010. Minecraft is in its early stages. Many people are understandably excited to see what this game will bring. It's unique and interesting. You can create whatever you want, go wherever you want, and play however you want. A truly endless sandbox that opened up every player's creativity they had locked away. A game that, despite its flaws in appearance, captivated a whole lot of people, proving that a game that was simple on the surface but more complex if you wanted it to be is always the key to success. Many content creators would catch wind of Minecraft, and much like today, wanted to hop on the train and get some of those sweet, sweet views. And when a game is growing steadily in popularity, people want to be the creator that makes something with the game that stands out from the rest of the competition. Many big names were made during this time with Minecraft, some of which are creators who are still active and relevant even to this day. But what happens when a creator doesn't want themselves to necessarily be in the limelight? Enter Copeland, a video game streamer that wanted to create an icon in the Minecraft community. But rather than make themselves an icon, Copeland had another idea. Copeland wanted to stream Minecraft and popularize a character from a story they enjoyed. A character that would go on to haunt and torment every gullible child who played the game during these times. The myth, the legend, and the horror that is known as Herobrine. It's important that I say popularize, because Copeland, despite being the first one to supposedly get Herobrine on video, was not the originator of the creation. No, much like all things on the internet, it was started by one of these two sites, Reddit or 4chan. The latter being what first brought us the story of Herobrine. On 4chan's V-board for video games, this image was posted, being the first image of Herobrine and the first post ever to mention the name Herobrine, along with a short story of what this anonymous player had encountered. I had recently spawned in a new world in single-player Minecraft. Everything was normal at first as I began chopping down trees and crafting a workbench. I noticed something move amongst the dense fog. I have a very slow computer, so I have to play with tiny render distance. I thought it was a cow, so I pursued it, hoping to grab some hides for armor. It wasn't a cow, though. Looking back at me was another character with the default skin, but his eyes were empty. I saw no name pop up, and I double-checked to make sure I wasn't in multiplayer mode. He didn't stay long. He looked at me and quickly ran into the fog. I pursued out of curiosity, but he was gone. I continued on with the game, not sure what to think. As I expanded the world, I saw things that seemed out of place for the random map generator to make. 2x2 tunnels in the rocks, small perfect pyramids made of sand in the ocean, and groves of trees with all of their leaves cut off. I would constantly think I saw the other player in the deep fog, but I never got a better look at him. I tried increasing my render distance to far whenever I thought I saw him, but to no avail. I saved the map and I went onto the forums to see if anyone else had found this pseudo player. There were none. I created my own topic of the man and asked if anyone had a similar experience. The post was deleted within 5 minutes. I tried again and the topic was deleted even faster. I received a PM from username Herobrine containing one word: stop. When I went to look at Herobrine's profile, the page 404'd. I received an email from another forum user. He claimed the mods can read the forum user messages, so we were safer using email? The emailer claimed that he had seen the mystery player too, and had a small directory of other users who had seen him as well. Their worlds were all littered with obviously man-made features as well, and they all described their mystery player to have no pupils. About a month passed until I heard from my informant again. Some of the people who had encountered the mystery man had looked into the name Herobrine and found that name to be frequently used by a Swedish gamer. After some further information gathering, it was revealed to be the brother of Notch, the game's developer. I personally emailed Notch and asked him if he had a brother. It took him a while, but he emailed me back a very short message. I did, but he is no longer with us. I haven't seen the mystery man since our first encounter, and I haven't noticed any changes to the world other than my own. I was able to press print screen when I first saw him. Here's the only evidence I have of his existence. Copeland knew that this post was starting to pop off a little bit on the internet. However, it could be a lot larger than it currently was. So Copeland decided to try and add on to this legend and decide to add some validity to it. While a still image can convey a lot of emotion and show a lot of things, people are oftentimes more skeptical when things like Photoshop exist. So Copeland decided he would try and get Herobrine on video, but not only just video, on a live stream. But to drive up even more anticipation for this live stream, Copeland decided to go ahead and fabricate their own screenshot of Herobrine. This screenshot, much like the original, got a lot of attention and comments, which was all the motivation Copeland needed to go ahead and start the stream and try and get Herobrine to legendary status. One interesting thing about this live stream that Copeland put out was that a lot of people believe that it's been lost to time entirely. This is because live streaming sites can't afford to host every single user's past broadcasts on them forever, so they have to clear them out to make more space every now and then. The footage I'm going to show you is arguably the most convincing looking one. I personally believe it is a real clip of the original stream, but there are a lot of people that are skeptical that there exists any form of it at all anymore. Copeland for the next few streams would stream very cautiously in their Minecraft world, playing normally, but you could tell that they were a little scared to be playing, as well as making forum posts with various screenshots detailing how they just couldn't deal with the thought of having Herobrine watching them in their world anymore. Copeland would eventually, in fear of Herobrine, delete the entire server forever and never log on to it again. If the seeds were planted with the original post on 4chan, Then Copeland went ahead and watered it with gasoline, setting the internet on fire, especially the Minecraft community, for a long time. Because of Herobrine going extremely viral off of Copeland's stream and the original post alone, plenty of creators would go on to announce that they too had seen Herobrine and would upload their own recounts of what happened. There was such a snowball effect that no matter where you went, Herobrine was mentioned all the time when people talked about Minecraft, being basically Minecraft's equivalent to the real-world Bigfoot. Herobrine was so notorious that there were kids at my school that didn't even want to buy Minecraft to even try it because they were scared of Herobrine. They had all read about him on different internet sites, one of which being creepypasta. Herobrine went from a Minecraft urban legend to an internet urban legend seemingly overnight. Looking back now, it's pretty funny that this scared so many kids because it's pretty obviously fake. In fact, years later, Copeland would admit to it being fake in an email to a Minecraft wiki admin. You can actually read the whole email on the Minecraft wiki if you're interested. But that didn't stop Mojang from having some fun with it and humoring the idea of Herobrine. For 10 consecutive years, they would put in the patch notes every single time that they removed Herobrine. On top of that, he would be edited into random images on Mojang and Minecraft's websites. Notch would even admit at some point that he never had a brother and that the whole thing was fake, but that didn't stop people from believing in it anyway. In fact, I know so many people that have stories of weird things happening in Minecraft that when they were younger, they fully attributed to Herobrine.
Well, it's been a long time since I heard that name, but I remember, back in middle school, just kind of the intense paranoia we all had about him. And, we would get on LAN parties with each other at sleepovers. And we always thought someone would dip off out of the group and start messing with us. But it was weird because all of us could be in the same room and these still, artifact glitches and strange occurrences would still happen. Definitely felt like there was something else.
So, you experienced something in this game in the past that, I guess as a child, made you kind of believe there was a possibility a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's just such a mystery to the game. And when you don't really have anyone to hold your hand through it, I think, it feels like anything can come out of those woods or anything can appear in the nighttime. So we definitely believed he was real.
And what do you think it was that made you believe in something like that so much? Do you think it's childhood naivety? Do you think it's just something that's ingrained in young people's heads to just be curious about things like that? Or what's your reasoning for why you thought it was just real?
I think it honestly had less to do with the age and more, when Minecraft was at that stage, there wasn't any information on it. There wasn't any guides. Even YouTubers didn't really make videos about it like how it is now. So I think it was the idea that there could be something in this game. There could be this horror element to an otherwise, pretty innocent game, that it felt very real. It wasn't so much that I was a kid. It was that I was stepping foot into a new world I'd never been in before.
So why is it that so many children and so many players throughout the world were terrified of this thing, even though it was announced that it was fake and it could easily be found out that it was fake? Well, to put it simply, most kids don't have a Twitter account, and they probably shouldn't have a Twitter account. It's where Notch confirmed that Herobrine wasn't real. And if you're an easily impressionable kid and you see Herobrine in the official logo of Minecraft, as well as seeing it removed every single time from the patch notes, and you played during the very buggy release of this game from 2011 to 2013 when Herobrine was in peak popularity, you would remember that there was a lot of changes to world generation, which meant if you played on an old world on the newer version, it would sometimes bug out and do some really weird stuff. Stuff that was eerily similar to what Herobrine supposedly caused. It only makes sense that you'd be spooked a little bit after reading this. Especially when Minecraft was pretty new and not many people knew much about it. It was a no-brainer that Herobrine was a recipe for internet success. So much so that Notch's fake deceased brother is still relevant today. There are still videos on YouTube to this day that are directed at children that feature Herobrine in them, with tons and tons of views showing that kids are still scared of this thing 13 years later. Most video games don't even last for 13 years. Minecraft lasting as long as it has is a testament to how amazing it is, but the fact that an urban legend can exist in it for 13 years as well, and people still talk about it to this day, is just nuts. Which shows that despite Herobrine not even being in the game, he's still a force that's here to stay. To scare a whole new generation of children and keep people on the edge of their seat when they're digging for those sweet, sweet diamonds. I guess the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I find it so fascinating that even if we all come from different walks of life, as kids, we were all scared of some silly stuff. Times were simpler, we were the most innocent we would ever be. The scariest things to us weren't tangible, they weren't real. It was just silly photos online or characters in games that we loved. Not something actually horrific or disturbing. We were ignorant to the real horrors of the world we live in. Our biggest worries were monsters and the people we had crushes on, not losing out on opportunities or losing sight of who we are and the ones we love. I don't look back at my childhood scares with contempt or annoyance. I'm not bothered by how many nights they kept me awake or how dumb it was that I even believed in them in the first place. I look back with rose-tinted goggles of nostalgia, fondly remembering the times when me and my friends would try and scare each other by saying we saw Herobrine or whatever creepypasta was viral at the time. We couldn't explore too much of the real world as kids, so we explored digital ones. Minecraft was very much unexplored. We didn't know much about it, but we wanted to learn everything about it. The game was newly released and buggy, and to a group of dumb kids, that meant it was haunted or corrupted by something. I look back nowadays at Herobrine, and I wave goodbye to a long-lost friend. Maybe it's a metaphor for waving goodbye to my childlike wonder and innocence. Maybe I just really like Minecraft. Or maybe deep down, I just wish I could feel like a kid again.